Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tyler. I hope you guys are all staying safe, staying healthy. Today, I'm going to be reading from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, the section about building your personal bank account. So let's dive right in. It goes, before you'll ever win in the public arenas of your life, you first must win the private battles with yourself. All change begins with you. I will never forget how I learned this lesson. What's wrong with you? You're disappointing me. Where's the Sean I once knew in high school? Coach glared at me. Do you ever want to be back out there? I was shocked. Yes, of course. Oh, just give me a break. You're just going through the motions and your heart's not in it. You better get your act together or the younger quarterbacks will pass you up and you'll never play here. I was a sophomore at BYU, Brigham Young University, during preseason football camp. Coming out of high school, I was recruited by several colleges, but chose BYU because they had a tradition of producing All-American quarterbacks like Jim McMahon and Steve Young, both of whom went on to the pros and led teams to Super Bowl victories. Although I was a third-string quarterback at the time, I wanted to be the next All-American. When Coach told me I was stinking up the field, it came as a cold, hard slap in the face. The thing that really bugged me was he was right. Even though I was spending long hours practicing, I wasn't truly committed. I was holding back and I knew it. I had a hard decision to make. Either I had to quit football or triple my commitment. Over the next several weeks, I waged a war inside my head and came face to face with many fears and self-doubts. Did I have what it takes to be a starting quarterback? Could I handle the pressure? Was I big enough? It soon became clear to me that I was scared. Scared of competing, scared of being in the limelight, scared of trying and perhaps failing. All of these fears were holding me back from giving it my all. I read a great quote by Arnold Bennett that describes what I finally decided to do about my dilemma. He wrote, The real tragedy is the tragedy of a man who never in his life braces himself for his one supreme effort. He never stretches to his full capacity, never stands up to his full stature. Having never enjoyed tragedy, I decided to brace myself for one supreme effort. So I committed to giving my all. I decided to stop holding back and lay it all on the line. I didn't know if I would ever get the chance to be first string, but if I didn't, at least I was going to strike out swinging. No one ever heard me say, I commit. There was no applause. There was simply a private battle I fought and won inside my own mind over a period of several weeks. Once I committed myself, everything changed. I began taking chances and making big improvements on the field. My heart was in it, and my coach took notice. As the season began and the games rolled by one, I sat on the bench. Although frustrated, I kept working hard and improving. Mid-season featured the big game of the year. We were to play a nationally televised, ranked opponent in Air Force on ESPN in front of 65,000 fans. A week before the game, Coach called me into his office and said I would be the starting quarterback. Gulp. Needless to say, that was the longest week of my life. Game day finally arrived. At kickoff, my mouth was so dry I could barely talk. But after a few minutes, I settled down and led our team to victory. I was even named the ESPN player of the game. Afterwards, lots of people congratulated me on the victory and my performance, but they didn't really understand. They didn't know the real story. They thought that the victory had taken place on the field that day in the public eye. But I knew it happened months before in the privacy of my own head when I decided to face my fears, to stop holding back, to brace myself for one supreme effort. Beating Air Force was a much easier challenge than overcoming myself. Private victories always come before public victories. As the saying goes, we have met the enemy and he is us. How you feel about yourself is like a bank account. Let's call it your personal bank account, or PBA. Just like a checking or savings account at a bank, you can make deposits or withdrawals from your PBA by the things you think, say, and do. For example, when I stick to a commitment I've made to myself, I feel in control. It's a deposit. On the other hand, when I break a promise to myself, I feel disappointed and make a withdrawal. So let me ask you, how is your PBA? How much trust and confidence do you have in yourself? Are you loaded or bankrupt? If your personal bank account is low, don't get discouraged. Just start today by making a $1, $5, $10, or $25 deposit. Eventually, you'll get your confidence back. Small deposits over a long period of time is a way to a rich and healthy PBA. With the help of various teen groups, I've compiled a list of 6 key deposits that can help you build your PBA. Of course, with every deposit, there is an equal and opposite withdrawal. So the PBA deposits are as follows. Keep promises to yourself, do small acts of kindness, be gentle with yourself, be honest, renew yourself, tap into your talents. So the PBA withdrawals are also as follows. Break personal promises, keep to yourself, beat yourself up, be dishonest, wear yourself out, and neglect your talents. So I actually had a coach in college, my head coach. He actually used the same analogy for our team and us as individuals, that we can use ourselves as a bank account, use the team as a bank account, and every day you are going to make a deposit or make a withdrawal, because every day you're going to get a little bit better, you're going to get a little bit worse. Same thing with the bank account. So I actually have used this in my personal life. I try and think of every good decision I make as a deposit, every bad one as a withdrawal. Obviously trying to focus on the positives over the negatives. Another thing my coach always said to us was, he was big on acronyms, and one of the big ones he had was an acronym for FEAR, F-E-A-R. And he said it could mean 2 things. It could mean forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And both are a choice. At the end of the day, both are a choice. And by the same token, nobody can make that choice for you but you. So at the end of the day, you're either going to face everything and rise up to the challenge, just like this author did, or you're going to forget everything and run away and not overcome your fear, your obstacle, whatever's in your way. So those are 2 big things that stuck with me personally.